Hey guys, this is Tanner here at Bozard, here in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. With me, I've got a 26 Ford Mustang GT in sparkling, iconic silver metallic. This particular example, just from the vents here, you can tell it is a GT. It's going to have the 5.0 liter V8, naturally aspirated, of course. And as we go around the car here, this particular example is going to have the performance pack. So you see the unique wheels that this model has wrapped in the Pirelli P0s. As we go down the length, you can tell we have the Brembo brakes here, of course, along with the performance pack there. And then the wing. You got the spoiler on the back. That too will come with said performance pack. Looking down the back here, you see it's got the quad exhaust. That is the indicator that this does have the active exhaust package. So maybe you don't want to wake up the whole neighborhood of a morning when you crank this bad boy up. It does have 4 different modes, and basically from closed to open, if you want performance and sound, or you want to be under the radar a little bit, but it's still going to sound good either way. Here we've got the classic Mustang tail lights, and you know it will give you the little dance of the lights there as you put on your blinker, and everybody loves that. Absolute crowd pleaser. And most people will be seeing your tail lights. With 480 horse, you'll be smoking people left, right, and center. Speaking of the tail lights, you'll see here as we pop the trunk, it is a sports coupe, so not the roomiest, but you can fit your golf clubs, maybe a small cooler. Pretty much, yeah, you're not having to sacrifice a whole lot of room just because you want to go fast. So under the hood, where the magic happens in this thing, you've got your stabilizer bar there across the top, and of course the pièce de résistance, the 5.0 V8, naturally aspirated, the classic Ford motor. That's going to give you 480 horse. This particular example is going to be a standard GT. So you will find your cloth seats, your 2 separate screens here. They'll be able to show you about dang near anything you'd want to see in this car as far as your performance numbers, your track apps, all that good stuff. It'll also be on the screen that you'll be able to control your exhaust note and change the color of the interior just to match your particular vibe. And then you'll notice on the steering wheel, you'll be able to put this thing in its multiple different driving modes, including the track mode. Watch out, don't want to put it upside a curb because this thing will go like stink. And then the paddle shifter's there, so you'll be able to bang through gears as you wear out all 480 horse of this thing. All right, let's take this bad boy for a spin. Full disclosure, I personally really want one of these. Honestly, a timeless classic. There you just heard the cross traffic alert, so you might have all the speed, but you got all the safety too. So you'll see here, we got the My Mustang screen. Every Mustang will have this, not only GTs, but an EcoBoost as well. And you can access this screen by the little pony button there. And what this does is it allows you to edit your exhaust. So I'm not a big fan of subtlety, so I want to hit it in track mode. And you'll notice it'll get a little louder tone, and that's just your valves opening up on your active valve exhaust. One of my favorite aspects of this, though, is the ability to change your cluster theme. So you can set it to where it matches your drive mode, or if you're feeling real spicy, you can put it in the track mode there to highlight your RPMs as you would in a racing scenario. Or, my absolute favorite, Ford has included some classic gauge clusters here. And my particular favorite, make it look like an old Fox body. And at night, this will glow green. It looks absolutely sick. Really top notch, especially if you're like me and just love everything 80s. But if you want a classic, yeah, you can do that too. Back here, you will be able to set your own driving mode. So with your own parameters, maybe you like it to have firmer steering, but you don't want it to be so loud. You can set it so that when you come over here, you change your drive mode, you can enter your own preset one, just so it's set up exactly how you like it right off the get. Also, if you happen to be on a track, you will have your multiple track apps here, including your acceleration timer, so everybody wants to know their 0 to 60. Your brake performance, you can set lap times, This one even has a drift brake, which we will not use today. But yep, sure enough, this has an electronic drift brake built in. New thing from Ford there. And then you will also have a shift indicator. So if you're really trying to maximize your RPMs and your power, hit that and it will tell you exactly when to shift, even in this automatic example. So as I mentioned earlier, you do have multiple different drive modes. And so as we go through the selections here on our steering wheel, it will change. Here you start out in normal, so you just casually cruising, and this is what your gauge cluster will look like. You can then switch it from your normal to your custom. You can set your own specific drive mode, set to your own parameters. Then we have our slippery. So even though this is a two-wheel drive, in rainy conditions, it will vector torque to the back wheels to ensure that, along with your traction control, that you don't lose any grip or slip or end up in a ditch or something when it's raining or potentially icy. And then there is a specific drag strip mode. So this will set it to where it's ready to boot scoot. It does have a built-in align lock, so you'll be able to roast your tires and get out on a drag strip, no problem. And then we've got our track mode, so that will turn off most of your assistances, and it'll give you basically unbridled power. So it'll open up your exhaust, take off your traction control, and be an all-around good time and kind of a wild time. And then last but not least, maybe you're feeling sporty, but you don't want to turn everything off, and so here we have our sport mode. This will just open up your exhaust, not all the way, but into sport mode, be second to the top. And then it'll firm up your steering and be an all-around pretty solid driving experience without having to take off all the guardrails. So if you've been in any recent Fords, some of this probably looks familiar. You'll see that at the bottom of the screen, we now have a full digital set of buttons there to control your climate, air conditioning. All fairly straightforward, which thankfully Ford has done that, because I know that switching to digital buttons was kind of a strange time in the car industry, and they have kind of reached this standardized form. You'll see if your particular model has the heated seats, you will see that on the left and right, controlling driver and passenger respectively. And then of course you have your fan speed, temperature. This particular model has the dual air, so both driver and passenger can be comfortable while you're giving your Mustang the beans. And then the only thing that is a smidgen different here is going to be your how you aim your air. So that'll be its own separate screen there, but all it takes is one tap, and then to close it, of course, you just press it again, and then you're back to what you were looking at previously. As far as creature comforts, this particular example, and actually all Mustangs on the road now, will have wireless CarPlay, so you don't have to worry about long cords and anything like that getting in your way. And you will be able to adjust your driver assistance, which this vehicle still has quite a bit of that. As you saw earlier, you have the cross traffic alerts. You do have blind spot indicators, so you know when you're ready to merge back over after passing somebody, which with this will be quite easy. And then, oddly enough, all new Fords will now come with a digital owner's manual. That's something that throws a lot of people off, but it's pretty cool. You can search for stuff in there. It's very user-friendly. Wouldn't be a good review of a Mustang without really giving it the beans. And yeah, pretty all-around daggone fun. So this particular run, we had exhaust on track mode. We did leave it in sport over here as far as the overall drive mode. Just not trying to take traction control off in this particular environment. But as you can tell, it is an overall visceral experience. Yeah, 480 horse. Sick.